Good morning everyone from a rather bright-eyed and bushy-tailed Ellie this morning. I have actually been up since 6 a.m. and can we just take a minute to appreciate the fact that it is now daylight at 6 a.m. Ever since the clock's changed, I feel like it has just changed everything for me, and it sounds so dramatic, but I just feel so alive and alert and awake whenever the sun is up. So I always struggle so much in winter, but as soon as spring rolls around, I feel like for me that real pivotal moment is the clocks changing. And I jumped out of bed at 6 a.m. this morning and I'm no longer having to use my Lumi light, I'm no longer having to use my sunrise alarm. It just makes me so happy. But I've actually had a really productive morning considering that I was up at 6 a.m. I have been list making, I've been planning, I've been prepping, I've been organising, because as you are watching this video, we will actually be away on our really exciting trip. So you may already know where we are if you're following me over on Instagram and keeping up to date with my stories, but we are actually going to be up in Scotland for a super exciting trip. This has actually been like in the works and has been planned for almost a year now, which is absolutely crazy because we're actually planning it around a really big family wedding, which is so exciting. This wedding is going to be absolutely huge. The bride, oh my goodness, she's gonna look so gorgeous, and the location, she is getting married at Hopetoun House, which if you're Scottish or you're from around that area, you will probably know Hopetoun House. It is insane. One of the most beautiful manor houses up in Scotland. It's just outside of Edinburgh and I am so excited. I feel like the British equivalent would be like getting married at Blenheim Palace. Like, it's absolutely insane. So I think it's going to be a really incredible wedding, and we have got literally the entire family coming, and I have a huge family, so it's going to be so nice to see everyone because there's so many of us that we don't often get these opportunities to meet up and everyone get together. And oh my goodness me, I am just really looking forward to it. And we've decided to like really make a holiday of it. So we're actually going to be heading up a little bit early. We're going to be heading up a few days before the wedding, like 4 or 5 days before the actual wedding, so that we can make the most of sightseeing around Edinburgh, because Edinburgh holds such a special place in my heart. My mum was actually born and raised in Edinburgh, so I've got a lot of childhood memories attached to it, but also it's become a really special place for Alex and I. When we first started dating, we actually made it a bit of a Valentine's tradition for like the first 3 years I think we were dating, and we used to go up to Edinburgh in like February time and have a long weekend there. We used to live up in the Midlands, so it's a lot easier to get to rather than coming from Hampshire, which is going to be a long journey, but we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, it's become a really special place for Alex and I as well. So we're going to be spending a good week or so in Edinburgh, which is going to be so lovely. We've got a big Airbnb booked, all of my family. We've all gone in and gone for like this massive, really gorgeous Airbnb just on like the outskirts of Edinburgh. It's kind of in like the Edinburgh countryside, so it's going to be so gorgeous. And then we can just drive in and spend the day in the city, and then afterwards Alex and I are actually road tripping up to the Isle of Skye, which is, if you don't know, a little island right on the tip of Scotland, and it is beautiful. I've always wanted to visit the Isle of Skye. It's such a gorgeous place to go and visit, and we thought, seeing as though we're in Edinburgh, seeing as though we've got the time, we're going to take off the holiday and just really make the most of the time. So Alex and I are going to say goodbye to everyone else as they head home, and we're going to head up to the Isle of Skye and spend a further few days up there. So it's going to be a really amazing trip. I am seriously looking forward to it because it's just going to be so special. Like, I feel like this is one of those like once in a lifetime type trips, you know what I mean? Like, it really does not come around often, so I'm really looking forward to it. So I've basically just been spending my morning creating lists of what we need to pack, what we need to bring, like all of the itineraries and things like that. It's actually been really nice. Alex has pretty much completely taken over the Isle of Skye itinerary. I've kind of done all the Edinburgh planning, he's done the Isle of Skye planning, so he's booked us like a meal, he's booked the accommodation, he's got everything sorted that we're going to be doing. So I don't really have much involvement with that, which is really nice actually, and I've just been doing all of like the Edinburgh planning and organising and sorting because it's all around like my family, so it kind of felt like that was like the best split of responsibilities. So yeah, at the moment I'm trying to think of all of the podcasts that I can download because it is going to be a long drive. We've decided we're going to drive just because Obviously we've got the Rover, we've got such a comfortable car to be able to do a long journey in. Like, these cars were built for these long journeys, and we also want to make sure that we've got the car up there so we can get into Edinburgh, and then we're going to be carrying on the road trip all the way up to the Isle of Skye. So a few people are going to be flying, I think a few people are driving. It really is one of those where just everyone is like coming together to this one location. So yeah, we've got probably about a 10-hour drive, which is going to be a long old journey, and I am someone who gets really travel sick. So I cannot go on my phone, I cannot go on my laptop, I can't even like put my head down and read a book. I'm the kind of person that just needs to keep my head up and look out the window in order to not feel sick for the journey. I'll obviously take my anti-sickness tablets and things like that, but I'm also someone that the bands don't work for me, the glasses don't work for me. I have tried everything, so it's the kind of thing where I just need to make sure I've got lots of podcasts downloaded and ready, lots of songs, playlists, to make sure that we basically have enough to fill the full 10 hours. So if you have any podcast recommendations, do let me know, because I am looking for some new podcasts at the moment, and I really want to make sure that we've got lots downloaded and ready. So let me know your favorite podcasts. Maybe I could re-download Audible. I actually cancelled my Audible subscription because I wasn't using it enough, but I could maybe do like another month and download maybe a couple of audiobooks, and just make sure I've got lots of playlists saved and ready on Spotify. But as you can tell, I am super excited about this trip. I've basically just been going through today, making sure that there's nothing like outstanding in terms of the to-do list, and that everything is organised and sorted and raring to go. In terms of dresses, that's all sorted and done. I need to show you what I'm going to be wearing, because I'm so excited about my outfit for this wedding. It is a very fancy wedding. Like, the vibe of Houghton House is immaculate, and in terms of like dress code, I feel like the best way to describe it is kind of like ascot vibe. So all of the women are going to be wearing hats as requested by the bride, and all of the men are either going to be in kilts, obviously, or morning suits if they're not Scottish. But one thing that I am so excited about is Alex has actually hired a kilt for this wedding. It's the first time he's ever going to wear a kilt, and he's even been able to hire it in his family tartan, which excites me so much. You know that TikTok that's like, he can't get any more attractive, and then they do something and you like keel over? That's what it's gonna be like when I see my boyfriend in a gorgeous kilt in his own family tartan. I cannot wait for that. But in terms of my outfit, I'm actually so happy with it. I decided to recycle a dress for this wedding, so let me show you what I've got. So I'm actually going to be wearing a dress that you might recognize if you've been following me since summer of last year. This is actually a dress that I wore to Alex's brother's wedding in Portofino back in September 2022, and it's this really gorgeous Adriana Papel dress. I think this is still available, so I'll link it down below if it is. And I feel like this is one of those dresses that's just so special. This is just all I wanted to wear when the invitation came through, and I knew what the vibe and the dress code was, because I just feel like it fits the dress code perfectly. It's a really gorgeous, like quite full skirt, really stunning pleated detail. It's quite structured, which is what I feel like works really well. But my main concern was the fact that it's sleeveless. It's quite a summery like cut and print, and obviously it's April in Edinburgh. Like, I don't think anyone was going to be expecting 30-degree weather. So I went on the hunt for the perfect little wedding jacket and stumbled upon this Phase 8 number. Now, one thing that I feel like it's never going to be able to come across on camera, but this dress is a very tricky colour to colour match. I actually went to quite a few different like hat places and like hat hires, because it is such a difficult colour. I wouldn't say it's pink and I wouldn't say it's purple. It's like a bang in between. And when I saw this jacket on Phase 8, I was like, that is the exact colour of the base of my dress, and it just matches so perfectly. According to Phase 8, they call this colour latte. Now, I am not convinced that this is latte, because latte to me is a lot browner. Like, it's much more kind of like a neutral. This is very like pinky purpley. Like, this is literally bang in the middle of pink and purple on the colour spectrum. So I picked this up to go with the dress, and I also picked up the matching fascinator, which, as you can see, matches so perfectly. Now, obviously dress code is hats, but fascinators are also allowed, and I fell in love with this one. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but it's got this really gorgeous like big kind of feathery bow detail to it. It is obviously a little bit kind of lopsided, which is just my favorite, and I love the way that it kind of like flicks out. So this is my outfit for the wedding, and I'm just absolutely in love with it. Oh, and then shoes wise, I actually managed to find a pair that I feel like match well enough. It's really tricky matching the entire outfit, but I found this gorgeous pair of Gabor heels, and I really struggle with regards to wedding heels because normally I would wear my castagnas because they're the comfiest thing ever, but again, I feel like because we are in April, it's not quite castagna weather, like it's not quite raffia weather. So I saw these Gabors and look, and they just match so beautifully. So they are such a gorgeous little like pointed toe, quite a thick heel because there is a bit of grass. So one thing whenever it comes to weddings, I feel like you always really need to think about your outfit in terms of how chilly is it going to be, how much is outdoors, how much is indoors, what is the grounds going to be like. So I was helping a friend recently choose an outfit for a wedding, and she had a pair of stiletto heels planned, and I just looked and went, I know it's a barn wedding, doesn't that mean it's going to be on grass? And she went, yeah. I was like, stilettos are not going to work with grass, and she just went, oh my goodness, of course. So I would always say when it comes to wedding heels, make sure to get something that has a little bit of a block, so I picked those up as well. Just to show you the full look on, because I'm just so obsessed with how this looks. It's just all come together so beautifully, and it's so nice to have been able to create the look from a recycled dress. I mean, this dress is just absolutely gorgeous. I love Adriana Papel pieces. They are just so well made, like such high quality. You might remember just before Christmas, I actually went down to their showroom and they had so many stunning pieces. And my favorite thing about this dress, it has pockets. I remember the wedding last year, every time I brought my phone out of my pocket, all the girls would just go, whoa! Why is it such a thing that all we ever want in our dresses is pockets? So yeah, I think it all just ties together so beautifully. Love how the jacket looks, like it's just so regal and elegant, and the crop is perfect on this dress. Like it just fits. Obviously this is sitting up because I've got my arm up, but it just sits so perfectly on the like smallest part of my waist, and I love how the hat looks. The fascinator is just really gorgeous. I'm not normally a fascinator girl, but if the bride requests it, then we will wear it. So yeah, I think it's just all tied together so beautifully. The one thing I am struggling with is handbags. I feel like because of the tones of this dress, I remember last year a lot of you said that you think black would have worked better with this dress. Now last year, because it was very summery, I went for summery colours. So I went white castagna shoes and I went for my YSL sac de jour, but I feel like looking at this, not entirely sure because it's a very warm bag, and obviously all of the colours with this dress are very cool toned. So another option is to just kind of embrace the fact that the bag is definitely not going to go with the outfit and just let it kind of be a bit of a focal point. So I'm thinking my YSL Cassandra, which just about fits everything in it that I need. It will not fit in my vlogging camera, but that is absolutely fine. I will not be vlogging the day. I do actually remember last year for Alex's brother's wedding, I didn't vlog the day, and I actually had a few people being like, oh, I wish you showed us the day. And I'm like, but it's someone else's wedding. Like, I don't have the right to show it on my channel because it's their special day. So of course I will not be vlogging at the actual event. I will get some photos because you always do at weddings, but that is the extent of what I'll be doing. So it fits in like my phone, my wallet, my purse, you know, my lipstick and things like that. It just about fits everything that I think you need for a wedding. So I'm thinking the YSL Cassandra, but let me know your thoughts down below. It'll be really helpful to know which you think looks better. I definitely want a bag with a top handle. I'm not a clutch kind of a gal. I need more in my handbag than a clutch will allow. So I think this goes best with the outfit, but yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts as well. Goodness me, it's quite a busy road, so sorry for all of the background noise, but I've quickly chucked on my trench coat because it's not quite warm enough for no coat weather, but a light trench is all we need. But I've just quickly come out to my local salon because I need to get a patch test done. All of the pre-wedding guest prep is underway this week. I've got LVL booked in, I've got my nails booked in literally the day before we go, and then I've got my facial booked in as well. And I feel like it's really difficult getting all these timings correct because the LVL, that lasts quite a while, that's fine. Facial, you want to get done about a week before any kind of like special event or like big occasion, because obviously your skin needs a little bit of time to like purge and kind of like recover from the facial. And then nails, because we're away for a good 12 days, I want to get done just before we go so that I don't have to get my nails topped up whilst we're there. So I've been juggling and organising all of my appointments, and today I need to get a patch test done for my LVL because I have had LVL done in the past. If you don't know, LVL is lash, I think it's called lift volume lash volume lift, something like that. It's basically a lift and tint for your lashes, and I haven't had it done in so long, and I often questioned when I used to get it done whether it was really, really necessary. But recently when I've been looking back in the vlogs, especially as I'm editing, I just keep looking at my lashes, and even when I've got mascara on, even when I've got a full face of makeup, I just keep looking thinking they just look a bit flat. So I decided to book LVL because I just want them to be really nice and flattery and voluminous for the wedding. So I'm gonna go get my patch test done now. Back from the salon now, and patch test is all done. Literally took a matter of minutes to do, so that's super, super handy. It's just on the back of my ear now. I don't think you're gonna be able to see it because it's like right on the crease. It's just a couple of little dots of the kind of like formulation and the chemicals that are used for the actual LVL, and it's just such a good one to do because obviously, as I said, I've had LVL done. I've never had a problem. I've never had a reaction in the past, but every single salon has like a slightly different formulation, a slightly different kind of like chemical balance with regards to their actual lifts, to the actual tint. So it's just to make sure that there is no complications, because there's nothing worse than having the LVL put on your eyes and then the reaction happening. Trust me, I know someone that told them that she had a patch test because she couldn't be bothered to go and get it done, and oh my goodness me, she reacted so badly to the actual LVL. So I have been traumatized from that, and always make sure if you were told to do a patch test, go and do a patch test, because you better be safe than sorry. So it's nice to have that all sorted. I'm going to leave that on the back of my ear for 24 hours, so like don't wash it off or anything like that. And then tomorrow I actually have my facial booked and the LVL booked in. So really trying to get ahead with regards to my appointments. I feel like it's the epitome of high maintenance things to create a low maintenance life. Like by going to get regular facials, it means that I, you know, don't need to use as many products to look after my skin. By getting LVL done, it means that whilst I'm away in Edinburgh, I can kind of be a little bit more low maintenance with regards to my makeup. So it's really nice to get these things booked in and sorted. So really looking forward to that tomorrow, because I just think my face is really in need of a good detox, and that is the thing that I feel like with these hydrofacials, it just gives it such a lovely detox. And I'm excited to see how the LVL is going to go, whether there's going to be a big difference, because as I said, when I used to get it done, I did start to get to a point where that's why I stopped, because I just thought I don't really know if I'm seeing a big enough difference and if it's worth it. But just the way that my lashes have been looking recently, I feel like I can just have so much more volume in them, and that's the main thing that I'm looking for. So yeah, another one ticked off the list today. Patch test done and dusted. Good morning everyone. I am looking rather fresh faced this morning. I don't have a drop of makeup on my skin because today is wedding guest prep day. Today is when we're doing all of the things to get ready for the wedding, and I'm really looking forward to it. So we've got LVL booked in and I've got my facial booked in. So patch test yesterday was absolutely fine for the LVL. I didn't have any kind of reaction, so it's just done on the back of my ear and no reaction whatsoever, which I was expecting. So that's good, just to make sure that I can definitely get it done today and come home with some very lovely fluttery lashes. And actually the thing that I'm most excited for is the facial today. I've been having quite regular facials now. I get them done every like 6 weeks or so. I had the first one done at the beginning of Jan. The second one would have been like mid to late Feb, and then this one now just before the wedding. So I'm getting it done about a week before the actual wedding day, because I usually find my skin does purge a little bit afterwards, which is basically where like all the impurities and all the toxins are kind of coming out, and it does kind of like get a little bit spotty. But then I'd say like a week afterwards is when my skin is just looking perfection. So yeah, really looking forward to that, because I have had a few breakouts. I've got a really big one which is really sore coming up on my chin, and just like a few other little kind of like just little ones popping up. So it'll be really nice just to give that a really deep clean, which is basically what the hydrofacial does. It's almost like a mini watery vacuum cleaner, and it just goes into your pores so deep and just pulls out all of the toxins, all of the grossness, like all of the stuff that you do not want to be in your skin. So I'm really looking forward to that today. So hence why I am completely makeup free, because there's no point in putting makeup this morning. I just did the most basic skincare routine as well, because I know that she's just gonna take it off the second that I get there. But I have had a very exciting delivery arrive last night that I wanted to unbox with you guys this morning from Bobbi Brown, which is just my fave. You know, it's my absolute fave. I have so many Bobbi Brown products in my like everyday makeup bag at the moment, and I'm just getting so much use out of them. So I thought that we could unbox this together. Oh my goodness me. The vitamin enriched face base. Can you see that? It's got a little note. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my goodness me. Okay, hang on, let's read through the press release because one step at a time, Ellie. So the vitamin enriched face base. I'm not gonna lie, this does not surprise me. It is the #1 best-selling moisturizer, and apparently one is sold every 15 seconds globally, which is just absolutely insane. So the press release says, our best-selling multitasking moisturizer and primer in one. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I don't know why I do these readouts because I am so dyslexic. I feel like I always embarrass myself by like tripping over my words when I'm reading. I was that kid in class as well where, you know, when you would be told, right, you're going to read page 9 to 10, you're going to read pages 14 to 18, and I would literally like work out which page I'd be reading and like practice it, because sometimes when I read things out loud quickly, my brain and my mouth just don't work together, and I do think it's a huge part of my dyslexia, but we're still going to read it. I love being able to share these things with you guys. So, our best-selling multitasking moisturizer and primer in one preps skin for smooth, flawless makeup application with our signature multivitamin blend and moisture-rich ingredients that instantly nourish, hydrate, and plump skin for a fresh, healthy glow. This definitely is one of those moisturizers that is, I think that is the best way to describe it. It is a moisturizer and a primer in one, and it's got vitamins B, C, and E in it, which honestly is just insane. I remember I first discovered this when I was maybe about like 18, and I was just absolutely obsessed with it. And obviously I could not afford this when I was 18, so every single like birthday or Christmas, like if ever I had birthday money, Christmas money, like my weekend job money, I would save and save and save to be able to buy myself this, and then I would use like the tiniest amount to make sure that I didn't go through it too quickly. But it says rich in feel but never greasy. This all-in-one primer plus moisturizer hydrates, softens, and smooths skin. The nourishing formula with a vitamin blend of B, C, and E creates a perfect base for flawless makeup application. With daily use, it makes skin look and feel its best, and I definitely agree with this. I've not actually had this in my skincare collection for a really long time, but it is just one of the nicest. I'm gonna put some on now because I've already done my skincare routine, but you know what? We can never have too much moisturizer on our face. It's a really funny consistency. Like, I remember when I first tried this, I was like, wow, that is thick, because you guys know what I'm like. I don't like anything too like greasy on my face or too kind of like oily and thick, but it really does just blend into your skin. Ugh. And it smells incredible. Oh my goodness, this is like bringing me back to like my early 20s when I used to just be obsessed with this. Oh, honestly, I can't even tell you how lovely it is. It's almost like a bit of a like lemony, zesty smell, but not in a kind of citrus way, just in like a really luxurious way. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait. I'm definitely adding that back into my everyday skincare routine because it's just one of the best moisturizers ever. I really do feel like my skin has just had like a really good drink, and it does feel like when you kind of touch your skin afterwards, it does feel like it's been primed. It feels like ready for makeup. Obviously not putting makeup on today, and I know that as soon as I get to my facialist appointment, she's just going to cleanse my skin and take that off, but it was worth it just to have a couple of minutes of luxuriousness this morning. But they've also been so kind to send some biscuits along with it. So there's one with a little clock that says one sold every 15 seconds. Can I open this? Oh, it's like taped up. Sorry about the reflection, but we've got one sold every 15 seconds. We've got a little biscuit that's like the pot of the Bobbi Brown multi-vitamin enriched face base watermelon twister that is, and then this looks like a grapefruit to me, but I swear there's not grapefruit in the ingredients. I wonder if there is. No, there's definitely nothing about a grapefruit on this, but it does say that it's got hyaluronic acid, squalene, and shea butter, and I do think that hyaluronic acid and squalene are two of like the most like moisturizing kind of like regenerating things for your skin. They've definitely made a really big impact on my skincare, so having products that have those in them is great. So I think maybe instead of a grapefruit, it's supposed to be an orange for like the fact that it's got vitamin C in it, but not entirely sure. Yeah, vitamin enriched. I'm not sure, but we'll definitely enjoy those biscuits tonight. I absolutely love this one. Is definitely my favorite. The little pot of the Bobbi Brown moisturizer. So cute. So what a lovely delivery to have received from Bobbi Brown this morning. Right, I should probably get myself off for the facial this morning. I'm very ready for a day of pampering, prepping, and wedding guest getting readying. morning, everyone. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that I completely gave up the ghost when it came to vlogging yesterday. I didn't even pick up my camera when I went to go get my LVL done. It's quite tricky to vlog when you like literally have your eyes closed for an hour and you can't really move. So I didn't even bother getting my camera out, and I won't lie, I actually got really tired and sleepy after the LVL appointment, because I normally, whenever I've had LVL, I've just been sat in a chair in a room, whereas they took me downstairs into like the massage suite where I've had like facials done. I had a towel over me, we had some music playing. It was so relaxing, and I came home like, I don't even want to get the camera out. I just want to enjoy this zen. So just to show you the lashes, I am obsessed with them. They look absolutely amazing. This is what I'm really, really loving about doing these high maintenance things that require low maintenance life, because all I've got on right now is the H2O skin tint from Pixie, a bit of brows and some lip balm. That's all I've got on, and look, it looks like I've got a full face of makeup, which makes me really, really happy. So they are very curly at the moment. I think I may have got a clip actually up close, because obviously you can't see them as well. So if I did, I'll insert that now. But I love how they look. They're just like really full. They look like I've got mascara on, and they just look so ready for the day. So I'm really, really happy with how the LVL went, and my skin is just looking so, so good from the facial as well. It just feels so clean. I asked her actually to step it down one, because last time I had my facial done, I did end up purging quite a bit, and I kind of said to her, I don't really want to purge, I just want to feel like cleansed and clean and ready for the wedding. So we kind of like took it down a notch in terms of intensity, which actually I think my skin was really grateful for, because it didn't irritate it, it didn't kind of like break out or anything like that. It just feels so cleansed and clean and ready for the wedding, which I am so, so excited about, because today is the day that we start packing. We are leaving tomorrow, which I cannot believe. Like, honestly, this has come around so quickly. I am so, so excited. I say today's the day, I guess tomorrow is the day, because tomorrow's the day that we're leaving, but today is the day that I need to pack up basically my entire life, because I need to plan for so many eventualities. We've got the wedding, I've got some events, we're going to be exploring Edinburgh, we're going to be doing some hiking. Like, there is so, so much that I need to pack for. So I need to start planning outfits this afternoon. Oh my god, speaking of outfits for the holiday, I have the funniest story to tell you about my wedding guest outfit. As you can see, it's currently just hung up in the corner of the room. I've just put it on my like mirror there, and it has been there for a few days. It's not as if last night was the first night that I put it there. We've been sleeping like that for a good few days now, but for some reason last night I woke up at about 3 in the morning and thought it was a person. I literally thought there was someone that had broken into our house and was standing over our bed, because when you think about it, the hat does look a bit like a head. And I gasped so loud, I literally woke Alex up. I was like, and just pointed, like I didn't even say anything. I was so scared, I was just pointing at it. And I remember it, but I was like half asleep. I was just pointing, and I just remember Alex going, are you okay? What are you looking, what's wrong, what's wrong? And he was like, babe, it's your dress. And I honestly was just so scared. I was just pointing and pointing and being like, oh my god, oh my god. And he was like, Ellie, and he literally had to get out of bed, bless him. I woke him up in the middle of the night to get out of bed and like shake the dress and be like, it's your dress. And I just went, oh, okay, went back to sleep. Honestly, we laugh about it now, but I don't think he was laughing at the time, because I'd completely woken him up and I don't think he could get back to sleep for a while. Whereas the second I knew it was a dress, I was like, that's fine, it's not a person, they're not here to murder me, I can go to sleep now. So, so funny. So as well as the wedding guest outfit, I need to put together some other outfits. I do actually have a second option of my wedding guest outfit. I might show you it. I normally would have, by this point in the year, done a wedding guest dress try on video. Have I done 2 over the past couple of years? I'll see if I can find them and link them down below. Normally, I feel like brands have a lot of wedding guest outfits by this point, but I don't know about you. I feel like this year has been quite slim pickings. Like, when I started looking for wedding guest outfits, there was nothing out there. Maybe there's a little bit more now that we have hit April, but for me, I had very, very limited choice. And actually, the item I'm about to show you, we have a story time. Let me go and get it. Okay, this is the blazer that I am talking about, and this has a bit of a story time, because this blazer has literally been out of stock since I first discovered this online. Now, it's from Coast, and I love Coast's wedding guest like outfits and their wedding guest kind of like collection that they do, because I feel like they have so many gorgeous pieces on there. And when I saw this, I was like, that would be perfect for this wedding, the perfect vibe, perfect for kind of keeping me warm. Like, it's a little bit thicker, it's a little bit more material, and perfect colorway. Now, this colorway has been out of stock from the second that I discovered this, and the only one that they had in stock was the white, which, if you're the bride, perfect. White is amazing, white looks fab. But obviously as a wedding guest, you can't wear white to the wedding or to any of the parties before or afterwards. Like any drinks, any after parties, white is just a big fat no-no. So I really wanted the navy blue. Now, by chance, about 2 weeks ago, I think someone had returned this in a 12 because randomly I was checking it like every single day. 112 came back in stock, so I snapped it up. So I will leave it linked down below, but please don't be disappointed that it won't be in stock because this blue just doesn't seem to have any sizes in stock. So feel free to send Coast a message, blackmail them, tell them they need to bring it back, or you will boycott their website. Do whatever you want, because this is the most beautiful like tuxedo blazer I've ever found in my entire life. And when I say there is nothing else out there on the market, I mean it. I was searching high and low for something like this. And I also thought, again, wanted to recycle a little bit, wanted to use something that's already in my collection. So the thing I plan on wearing with this is something you would have seen on my Instagram quite a lot recently, because I have been styling this up loads, and that is my Suzanne skirt. This is such a gorgeous little pleated skirt, and I thought these two paired together could make a really lovely wedding guest outfit. Now I know obviously a dress is like the typical thing to go for, but I do find with wedding guest outfits, sometimes it's quite nice to kind of think outside the box a little bit, wear something a little bit different that maybe not everyone else has. And again, if you can recycle something in your wardrobe, fab. So let me put these on and show you what they look like, because oh, I love them. I mean, how gorgeous is this? The blazer is just everything I would want in a tuxedo blazer. So it's got this really gorgeous like satin wrap that goes around it, so you can tie it in like a big bow at the back. You can kind of style it however you want to, and it just creates this really gorgeous like tiny waist kind of peplum style. And as I said, there's nothing else that I've seen on this on the market. If you want to go for like a wrap waist belt, most of them are really long, they're more kind of like work weary, or you can get something cropped up to here. I've not seen anything that's this length, and I love how it looks with the skirt. The way they started actually was with a tulle navy skirt, which again looked amazing. So a great option if you've got a wedding, kind of similar vibe and similar style. But I really love the Suzanne skirt with it. I feel like it just works so perfectly. Makes it a little bit more spring-esque as well. I think if I was to just go for the navy, it might be a little bit too dark and a little bit too wintry, but the florals on the skirt really kind of bring it up. And I've just paired it with a little cute little heels. I mean, I don't really know if I would have worn these heels, but they're just a good example to show how it kind of all looks paired together. And you could pair it with maybe my little Coach tabby, or the pillow I think would also look really lovely. But it's just such a gorgeous blazer. I think I might take this with me up to Edinburgh just in case, because we do have some like drinks, some nice fancy evenings and stuff before and after the wedding. So if the kind of occasion fits, and you can also style this with a lot of different other things, like you can maybe even wear it with jeans for just like a fancy evening meal. I feel like there's loads of different options. So I feel like we all need to message Coast now and say, please bring this back in every single size, because I am so grateful I managed to get it in a 12, but I really want you guys to be able to shop it as well, because it really is one of the most beautiful blazers, creating one of the most beautiful outfits ever, and something so different for a bit of a wedding guest attire. Wedding guest outfit attire to packing attire. I am literally just wearing the coziest, comfiest sweatshirt I own. This is a really cute one from New Look, which I really like. It's great for a packing day. I do sometimes struggle when it comes to my packing attire, because I do feel like the day before you go, you don't want to be wearing anything that you want to take with you, that you want to travel in, that you want to pack. So this is one of those jumpers that I just know for a fact I'm not going to be taking with me to Scotland. But you may have noticed there was a rather exciting bag sitting behind me that I need to unbox with you guys. It arrived late last night, which is the most perfect timing. Like, if that's not manifestation, I don't know what is. And this is a very kind gift from Katie Loxton. Now you might remember just before Christmas, no, it was my what I got for Christmas video. I showed you my gorgeous monogram Katie Loxton bag, and they've actually been so kind to send me another. And I feel like this is going to be so perfect for traveling, obviously because we've got the car, because it's more of a road trip. I feel like I don't have to be as stressed out about packing, because it's not as if everything needs to go in like one suitcase that's going to go into the underbelly of a plane. I can kind of spread out a little bit more. I'm gonna have my Mulberry handbag as my kind of almost in the car bag. Like I'll just have that with my snacks, my food, the things that I want that's like really, really close to me. This will also be great, I think, for things that you want to be able to reach easily. We can just put this in the back of the car, and I can use this to maybe have some more like comfy clothes for the journey, because obviously 10-hour road trip is going to be a long, long time. So let's unbox what's in here, because I am so, so excited about this. And the Katie Loxton weekend bags are just my favorites. If you're looking for a really gorgeous weekender bag, look no further, because this is just so, so beautiful. And if you look closely, you can see it's also been monogrammed. So this one's completely different. This is a fabric one rather than a leather one, which actually I really like the fact that I now have like one of both. I've of course gone for very neutral colors. We've got this like lovely creamy white canvas, and then we've got this kind of almost, I'd say it's like a toffee leather rather than like a tan leather accessories, which I really, really like. And I love how subtle the monogramming is. It's just this kind of almost like beigey stitch, which I think is so, so lovely. Of course, we've got another little tag, which I really like. You could probably also get that monogrammed if you wanted to, but I love the tag. You can add in your info in there, and then it's so roomy. Like this is absolutely huge. This is a great, it's a little bit smaller than my other one. The other one I have is the Oxford. I'd say this one's more of like an overnight bag, whereas the Oxford's more of like a weekend bag. This is perfect just for chucking in everything that you need and just last minute bits in the car. And I'm so, so excited about it, because it's going to be the perfect addition to take up with me to Scotland. It is definitely up, but oh my goodness me, it's so, so gorgeous. What a lovely gift from Katie Loxton. I'm feeling very, very spoiled, and it could not have arrived at a better time. Okay, it's a little while later now, and if I'm looking a little bit disheveled, it's because I have basically just spent the best part of the last 2 to 3 hours packing and planning all of my outfits. I don't want to show you the outfits yet, because I will be vlogging the trip, so I'll be able to show you what I'm wearing whilst I'm up there. It's a really, really tricky one to pack for, because I think it's going to be quite cold and wet up in Scotland as per usual. But obviously I'm wanting spring vibes. I'm wanting to bring in a little bit of that like transitional wardrobe, so I've hopefully packed for pretty much all eventualities. I've managed to pack both my Katie Loxton cases, and then I've also got my big antler suitcase, just to give you like a bit of a size reference as well. Actually, it's not that much smaller than this one than I was expecting. I managed to fit quite a lot into the both of them. But this is the gorgeous, I believe this is the Oxford bag that I have, which is a really lovely tan leather, and we've got the big EM. It's actually a gold thread emboss, which I really, really like. That's very like in your face, whereas I feel like this one's a little bit more subtle, which I think is so, so lovely. So obviously the white canvas and the kind of toffee coloured, so very different from the tan, but looks absolutely gorgeous. And I just love it, especially when you're in the car and you can just like pull these out of the boot. They look so, so lovely. So I've got those, still got my dress hanging up, because I'm just going to put that straight into the car. And I am feeling quite smug, actually. I feel like very happy with myself that I've managed to get so much packed and organised and sorted this afternoon, because it means that we can have a bit of a relax this evening and then get it all loaded into the car first thing tomorrow. Well, just as I had finished with the packing, I was feeling really smug, all sorted. Something has actually just arrived in the post, and oh my goodness me, I actually completely forgot about this. If you remember a few weeks ago, it was on International Women's Day, so back in mid-March, I was in London. I had the loveliest time, and I had a couple of different events. I had my Pandora event, but I also had a visit to the Next showroom. Now, they actually had something that they were doing there, and it was the sweetest thing. And if you couldn't stay for the full duration of when they were making it, they offered to send it out. And so I asked, yeah, would it be okay if you sent it out to me? And it's just arrived, and I completely forgot that they were doing this at the Next showroom. So it's even come with like a little slip on it saying, thank you so much for visiting our brand new PR showroom from the Next PR team. And it's actually a gorgeous silk pillowcase. Now, if you know me, you'll know that when it comes to traveling, there is one thing that I do that is so bougie, but I cannot live without it anymore. That is bring a silk pillowcase with me. It sounds so extra, I am aware, but it's tiny. Like when you think about how small a silk pillowcase is, and it makes all the difference to your skin, your hair, how you feel when you wake up. Like I literally cannot sleep without a silk pillowcase anymore, which is dreadful, but I absolutely love them. And they were actually doing a monogramming kind of like little experience at the Next showroom, which was just so, so lovely. So it's from a brand called B-Deck or Bed Deck, I'm not entirely sure. Bed Deck of Belfast, I think. Fine Linens. It's a mulberry silk pillowcase, and I got on it my initials monogrammed onto it. So you can see here, we've got the little EM. So I wanted it to stand out. A lot of people were going for white thread to make sure that it didn't like stand out too much. But I was like, you know what? If we're going to go for a monogram pillowcase, I want a monograms pillowcase. I want to make sure that everyone knows that this pillowcase is mine. So it's just the little EM on the corner there, which is so cute. So it's just standard size pillowcase. Definitely needs an iron, as pillowcases always do when they first arrive. But I love it because it's like a nice crisp white, so it goes really well with my bedding. And it's got the monogramming on it, so I think I might take this with me instead. I might give this a quick steam and bring this with me, because as I said, I always bring a silk pillowcase with me. I normally bring a different coloured one so that I can kind of like spot that it's different on the bed and not forget it. But if I've got one that's monogrammed with my initials, I'm definitely not going to forget that. So Ellie Mae on my pillowcase, how lovely is that? I'm not entirely sure if bed deck, it must be bed deck, because bed deck, I would assume. I'm not entirely sure if they do monogramming as like a normal thing. This was obviously just a PR from the showroom visit, but I just think that's a really lovely gift idea. I think silk pillowcases are a great gift idea to give someone. They're a little bit dangerous because, as I said, once you get started on a silk pillowcase, you're hooked. Like, you can't sleep on cotton anymore. It makes such a difference to your hair. But if you know someone that's really into their skincare, their makeup, their hair care, maybe there's someone that like buys themselves everything and kind of has all the skincare they already want, and you're really struggling for a gift idea, a silk pillowcase, particularly a monogrammed silk pillowcase, absolutely fabulous gift idea. So I'm so in love with that. I'm going to quickly put that in my case last minute to take with me, because I definitely want to bring that with us up to Scotland. And on that note, I'm going to end this vlog here, because as I said, I'm feeling rather smug. I'm all packed, I'm all ready, and I am so excited to get on the road tomorrow. So the next time I will be seeing you guys will be in Scotland. I'm so excited.